Good afternoon and welcome to um, another edition of the Mppa Hour. Today, na the 11th of October, Wednesday, and you know, they listen to me now. SLBC Radio FM 100 right now. So everyone in the country, and we tell you thank you because these are the program where they bring good governance issues them country. And today we get big alleged them. We come on the National Commission for Democracy, what they call NCD, and then they look at the election conflict prevention and what they call mitigation. That is how for avoid, how for prevent, how for make sure say boos, Allah sonko. Then they all not go be when the 20 election come. And for sake of that, I get two big alleged them important people them na Master Sabi Mandem we come on at the Commission for Democracy, the NCD. First, we get Reverend Dr. Jubila Kabo in the Communication and PR Manager. Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And then on far right, I get Mr. Idris Din Gabisi in the Research and Monitoring Manager. Mr. Din Gabisi, you're welcome to the program. So as we can talk, them today, you get the opportunity for make you question them about election violence. Either before the election, like then 10 there, during the election, when the voting they go on, and after, before they call the result, and after they call the result, how will they manage the situation with disappointment, who are mad, you know, the money they we don't waste, the promise the woman and don't promise, because not all man where they wear polo, they go dance and treat, not when they vote, some man not even register. So but they go issue hopes, you go give money, then they also all the good the day of election. Some man go wear red from the top to bottom, some man go wear green, some man go wear pink, all the different colors. They can tell them fine. Well, now we get Reverend Kagbo, we get Mr. Dinga BC for can explain, but then which they call do's and don'ts. And what you supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do before, during the election and after the election. So now that's make a welcome to the MPPA this today on behalf of the Minister, Madam Nana Thomas, and the Deputy Mr. Ahmed Femi Masori, me and T.J. Cole, the Megadon, welcome. This is how we will begin the program, but as I say, you can join me, be part of this program. If you send me text, 030-014-971 or 076-955-191. Send text, ask questions, make suggestion, be part of the program. We'll go straight to the program. Reverend, I just want to take me through the background. What to make the set up the National Commission for Democracy, NCD? What in the special area them of operation where in they look?
Plenty thank you, Mr. Cole. Or I can call you Megadon.
Thank you.
For me, I appreciate the fact say MPPA, that is the Ministry of Political and Public Affairs, decide for get this kind of program. Remember, we now the National Commission for Democracy,
right,
for come and talk to the public on issues that we're pertinent to with democracy and how election business for go. Now, going to the background of the National Commission for Democracy, we were a small body history of this country. We know say. Between 92 and 96, we will get a military regime in place.
Right.
And when that regime they take part in 1992, 2 years down the line, a decision was reached for say, we need for put in place an organization, an institution, when a government institution for ensure say, we transform the nation for make it go back to democracy. Because you know, say under a military regime,
yes,
the world over will not be considered as a democracy because not to the vote, not to show you what the ways are, but they want to then describe them. So they may set up this institution for say, well, then for lead take the lead in terms of taking the government and the nation back to democracy and ensure say people are moved for understand what it mean and accept the process. So they establish NCD, the National Commission for Democracy. And in 1996, when we changed from military regime, right, that is after NCD don't begin for doing work, say we bring in now a civilian regime where Dr. Ahmed Chidan Kabam will be president under the SLP government. they now give a statutory status by an act of parliament, Act number 3 of 1996. In fact, they also call it the superseding act, where repeal all of them, decrease them women day when MPs in power, for now give an institution like NCD a mandate where go look like any other institution they set up under democratic good governance. So by 1996, we get that kind of upgrading there from being set up by military regime to being upgraded and approved by civilian regime for become, say, an institution we set up by an act of parliament, and then give we the power for doing for do civic education on the constitution. And of course we know say the 1991 constitution is in existence now, and we suppose everything within that constitution we supposed to teach the public about it, and by so doing we promote what you call democratic good governance inside salon, and we bring together various institutions them, help them for make them say get capacity for ensure say themselves play a leading role inside with democracy in Sierra Leone. So thus the need for make the establish the National Commission for Democracy. Over time, a lot of things don't happen because there was a time when they bring in the human rights component. So it used to be National Commission for Democracy and Human Rights. But by 2007, after the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the report, they may now sever, that is the human rights component from NCDHR, for then establish the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone. So we go back to it, we will start the National Commission for Democracy, NCD. So if you ask me about it, now the basic history down there in terms of when we started and why we were in the first place brought into existence.
Well, thank you very much. Reverend Dr. Cabo, the National Commission for Democracy. And we go to Mr. Idris Din Gabisi, in the Research and Monitoring Manager. Mr. Gabisi, you do everything Reverend talk. Very nice, you know, it makes a lot of sense. But the question is where somebody will ask, when you get institutions like maybe civil society, they knew the National Election Watch, you get them the institution like National Elections Commission, you think say not to like dual, well, maybe not they double the functions, not almost the same thing that they do.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moderator. In fact, in the first place, in the Constitution, all of these institutions, the way now a commission, they all get the mandates. And the respective mandates now like way they get breed and slicer. None of the way duplicated. For like neck, their mandates now for conduct the elections. But you know the elections is very complicated and a process where they start from maybe when they register people them to when they declare the results. Between that, we get a lot of things that we need education. When they make institutions them, like the National Commission for Democracy, come in. On the aside, institutions them like the National